Hello, this is Bridget with Divine Essentials. Hi guys, how are you? So I have a little reading here for you guys. I'm using my new Celestial Oracle, and I'm using the Witches Tarot. I don't know, it's got witches in there or something like that. It's witches or magical witches. I don't know exactly what it is, and I can't remember. I'm sorry. But basically, I've got thinking, feeling, and wanting, and then these are like influencing energies in those departments. And then like here, I grabbed Neptune came out twice, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get another one because it's like almost like cancels each other out. But it's also like, hey, yeah, Neptune really wants to come out. So this deck, there's an option. You can have this, set. Like the set comes with colored planets, but there's also an option to add on the ones that match like the rest of the cards. And so I have both sets because I wanted to get both sets and look at them and make sure they came out okay. But I ended up putting both sets into my deck to see if like they would come out and kind of like amplify the energies. Like, say, is the sun going to come out twice, or is Neptune going to come out twice? So I just wanted to see, and it has done that quite a few times when I've used both in there. When I first got the deck, I didn't use both sets of planets. I only used one, but I've been liking this because it's like confirmation. So anyways, we're asking about divine masculines and divine feminine energies, and like what's going on right now with the thoughts, the thinking, the feelings, the wanting, all of that. And up here was my overall energy for those collectives. Okay, so if you're somebody that's divine feminine, or you're somebody that's divine masculine, the overall energy we have right now is planetary shifts, and it says shaking up the monotony. So it's like whatever's been happening, something's happening to shake that up. Something is changing, or like, when we have like a big monumental shift within our planetary alignments, usually that impacts us. And I just noticed that underneath there is the 7th house, which is about partnerships, relationships, contracts. So this can be like, twin flames, divine counterparts, your soulmates, and your soulmates don't have to be romantic. They can be, people that you are friends with, people that are in your family, people that you connect with on a soul level, that you have a contract with, energetically. Like you made a contract before you came to this lifetime, and, you play it out in this life. So there could be planetary shifting, or basically just shaking up the monotony that you've been having within your relationships or within your partnerships. And that could be romantic, or that could be just friendship, or that could be, whatever type of contract you've created within your experience in this lifetime. And then we had cycles of creation and destruction leading to destined divinity. So obviously, when you come into this planet with your contracts and your partnerships and your relationships and things that you're meant to do, you're going to have a destiny, right? There's something destined out there for you that you are aligned to connect with at some point. Sometimes we go off the path, and sometimes we go back to the path, and sometimes we go around the path and up and down and all around and back and forth, and eventually, we may find ourselves like there we are at our destiny, and we don't usually know exactly what that is. Like like we can feel like aligned, like, oh, this person really feels like they are something significant in my experience. Like sometimes we just know when we meet somebody that we have like that deeper connection to them. We just click on some level. There's like a deeper meaning or something within the relationship that just stands out differently from other people. And so I feel like basically there's been a lot of cycles that we go through in our lives. Like there's creation and destruction, but no matter what it is, whether it's good or bad, or all of the above, it's going to eventually lead you to where you're destined to be, and that's going to be aligned with your divinity. Okay, so I feel like whatever shifts we're having right now, there may be some crazy shit going on. Like there could be big shifts happening that are shaking up your life, and it may be, scary, or it may be, oh, awesome. But either way, it's leading you to your destiny. It's leading you to your divinity. It's leading to better experiences in the end. So even when we have shitty shit happening, it's usually for a reason. It may not feel great in the moment, or it may be difficult to go through, but eventually we get to the other side and we're like, oh, this is what I had to go through to get here. So, if you've got some stuff going on, try to look at the deeper meanings within that. If your relationships have been difficult or your partnerships have been kind of weird, just know that eventually things make sense in the end. It may not be something you're, getting all of the understanding of right now, but hopefully you'll kind of put the pieces together later. And then down here for the thinking, I did, ask basically what's going on for Divine Masculine's thoughts about Divine Feminine. So you can take it that way, or if you want to flip the energies, or if it resonates better to flip the energies, go ahead and do so, because we all have masculine and feminine energy. So you may be more in your masculine energy right now, and this may be more about what you're thinking, in regards to stuff. So the first card out was the Emperor, and basically the Emperor is Divine Masculine. This is this is a man that's truly in his power. This is a man that's not afraid to be, that man that goes out and pursues and protects and provides, and he's just kind of got his shit together. He's a good dude. He's, he's ready to be in control and take charge and help and build. And also, I feel like because of this deck specifically, he's looking at the kids over there. I feel like this can also sometimes hold the energy of nostalgic, Six of Cups energy. So your Divine Masculine may be in his energies of wanting to align with his power, his control, his destiny. And he's holding on to this Ankh. I've never really noticed that before. I know he's always holding on to a staff, but this one looks like the Ankh, the Egyptian Ankh, which is a symbol of life, and I feel like that may be something that they could be coming into. And I'm noticing the flowers here. This is springtime, new growth, new opportunities, new love, new beginnings, new frequencies and energies coming in. And that could be sparking something inside of them that they haven't had for a long time, or making them feel aligned with this energy of I want to create life, or I want to give birth to something that's worth having, or I want to leave, some sort of mark on this world that isn't necessarily coming from my ego, or coming from, whatever. Maybe I'm feeling this pull to be a dad, or I'm feeling this pull to be aligned with somebody that I have that nostalgic connection with. Those of you that have had a connection from childhood with your person, they could be missing that love that they had, the easier days, those days where it was light and carefree. It's they may be wanting to reconnect with that, part of themselves, the inner child, and just have fun again and be carefree, enjoy, and express themselves without worrying about the ego, oh, and I gotta be cool, calm, and you know what I mean? Just let that shit go. So they could be going through a cycle of destruction of the old way that they were, shaking up the monotony. However they were, they may be I think I want to shift that up a little bit. And with the Justice card, this is somebody wanting, justice and balance within their situation. So again, this can represent contracts. So if your Divine Masculine's been married, maybe they're married with children. And that could be something that they're looking at too, is I really feel burdened by the fact that I have these kids with this other person, and that's what's been keeping me in this contract over here. I'm in this partnership or this relationship that I really don't want to fucking be in, but I'm staying here because of the burden of the children, or the burden of what are people going to think of me when I leave here. But I feel if that's the case, if they're in a relationship that, the only reason they're staying is because of the kids, they may start to see it really differently, and having a shake up of that type of experience, and realizing I'm not doing my kids any favor by just staying here in a miserable situation just because they exist, because you're teaching your kids to stay in a miserable situation just because of whatever. It's oh, let me just stay here and suck and hate my life and not be happy or go after my dreams. And that's not what you want to teach your kids. You want to teach your kids that if you're not happy, if you're not fulfilled, go after what's going to make you happy and fulfilled. Don't just, ride it out into misery because you made some sort of freaking contract, or you signed some paper, or you had a baby, It's like you don't have to give your life away because of that. So it's like you got to take that life into your hands and decide what you're going to do and drop the burdens sometimes. And yes, it's maybe not going to be the ideal situation for everybody. Maybe it's going to be hard for everybody involved. But it's like, are you going to sacrifice your own happiness? And then everybody's miserable? Because if you're not happy in your relationship, you're usually not nice to each other. There's usually some shit going on. It's like nobody's really like having a grand old time. So the kids usually are influenced by that anyways. They're not going to be like, yeah, mom and dad love each other so much. They're going to be like, they're going to know. They're going to feel it. They're going to sense it. So everybody's going to be burdened regardless. All right. And I feel like with this lasting impressions, it's like, no matter what's going on here right now, it's like it's gonna have a lasting impression. And I feel like that's something like, you can look at it like in that, where it's like there's gonna have a lasting impression on the child. It's gonna have a lasting impression on their heart and their soul. It's gonna have a lasting impression as they move forward. But that lasting impression doesn't have to mean that we stay there forever. It could be time to go through the endings, to surrender, and to chase after our dreams before we're too old to do it, And it's like, what is your heart and soul guiding you to do? What is your heart and soul wanting you to do? So I feel like you may have a lasting impression on this person that is, rekindling the spark inside of them for some of you, that's making them want to chase after their life or take their life into their own hands and get rid of the burdens and the things that are keeping them from having this destined divinity that they're supposed to have with you. And in other cases, it's more so like, they know that there's going to be a lasting impression when they do whatever they're going to do, and they're not going to allow that to keep them stuck forever. They're like, I gotta go after where I'm destined to go. I can't stay in this situation forever. I've got to do something about it. So new levels of awareness are available to assist in your evolution. Do not shy away from a soul revolution. And then we have the sun, which is divine masculine energy, and it's about action and confidence, passion, ego, masculine ambition, stamina, pride, identity, individuality, royalty, state, higher positions, good health, wellness, vitality. So it's like, if we want that happiness, that joy, that expansion, that clarity to illuminate our lives and to move forward and to, take those levels of awareness that we're having and to evolve into a better place and to have that revolution in our lives, we've got to drop the burdens that are keeping us from having it. And yeah, it's going to be a lasting impression. It's going to make a big change in our lives, but we have to do something about these things in our experiences if we want to have alignment to the right relationships and alignment to the right experiences that are going to serve us. So I feel like whoever you're connecting to right now within their head, they're having moments of aha, they're having moments of awakening, they're having moments where they are aligning to their divinity and recognizing their divinity and realizing like they don't have to stay stuck in the monotony. They don't have to stay stuck in the bullshit. That life is in their hands and it's in their corner, in their decision what to do with their life. Nobody's going to do it for them, and staying stuck and miserable in a situation, or staying stuck and miserable by themselves, or staying stuck and miserable in some sort of dynamic isn't going to serve them. So they're ready to have an ending of the old and surrender into chasing after their dreams. And down here within the feelings, we have the Knight of Wands, which is basically, somebody's very passion driven. They're ready to go chase after their, passion and their desire and that stamina, that energy inside of them to go do what they want to do. And for some people, this can be, I want to go get freaky deaky. I want to go chase after my desire passionately, to get some action. And with the Queen of Wands, she's very sexy, seductive, magnetic, charismatic. She's the one that's like, woo. So I feel that whoever we're connecting to may be feeling that very strong magnetic sexual pull towards their person. We also have Mars here, which is, again, very much about our passion, our desires, our sexual, I'm going to pursue it. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to go towards my instincts. And it can also be connected to anger and war and all of that. But I feel like with these energies here, this is more so saying somebody is feeling that primal, urge to go reproduce or to go make some kids or to go do the things that make kids. You maybe not gonna make any, but you might want to do the things that can sometimes lead to that. And with the Temperance card, this is a balance of our passion and emotion. So I feel like this is here to let us know that for those of you that are worried when you see this guy, it may be that, they're balancing that out. They're not going to just only lead with their sexual desire, that they're going to actually lead, and want to have those needs met and have that, sex and passion and desire and all of that, but that they also have love there too. That it's not all about just the physical, it's also about let's let's make love, let's have some, fulfillment within our relationship. So we also have the moon here, which is the feminine. So we have the mystery, the reception, the intuition, the nurture, the care, the feelings, the emotions, the memories, the reactions, the instincts, the expression, and the feminine. So again, I feel like in their emotions, they have this desire. They feel like they want to rip someone's clothes off and get rizzy, and get freaky deaky and making love and doing all that freaky deaky stuff. However, that's not it. That's not the only thing. That's not the only drive. There's actually emotion there. There's feelings there. There's love there. There's a desire to be nurtured. There's a desire to have this woman, come and take care of me physically, like hold me, love me, make love to me, hold me, kiss me, do some stuff to me, but also be present emotionally and not only physically. So I feel like for some of you, that may be something too that's shaking up whatever it was. Maybe the monotony was we come together, we make love, and that's it. We don't talk to each other that often, or we don't share our expression of our emotions that much, or there's something that's like not being fulfilled within it. I feel like that is kind of saying here that like you guys are shaking that up. That cycle is changing, and we have here not a straight path, cyclical. So maybe you've come and gone, this person's coming in before and left and come and gone and left and gone, and it's always been difficult, or up and down and back and forth, or there's been good times and bad times, or there's been these other dynamics within the situation. But basically it's not a straight path. When you're on your path towards divinity, you're on your path towards your destiny, things come and go, and there's ups and downs and backs and forths and all these experiences that we go through. But I feel like this is saying like, it's not going to be a straight path exactly to where you want to be, but you can't, allow that to deter you from continuing after the path that you're destined to be on. You got to still surrender and go towards your dreams. You still got to go and, be aware of your emotions and be aware of your desires and allow yourself to pursue those things and not, cut yourself off from them. And then we have inspiration, fantasy, dreams, psychic skills, illusion, lies, confusion, spirituality, esoteric, faith, deep emotions, intuition, and oceans. So again, we have these more emotional Neptune, Pisces type of energy here. So it's telling me that this person has deep emotions. But unfortunately, sometimes like there can be a little bit of confusion that comes about with all of that. There can be illusions that we get sucked into sometimes. Our dreams can influence us. Like some people get really weird with their dreams, like a husband and a wife. The wife has a dream that the husband's sleeping with somebody else. She wakes up pissed off and is mad at him, and literally is mad at him for what he did in her dream. Like we literally let things sometimes really get to us when we really shouldn't, so sometimes we have to be like, wait a minute, is this real, or is this my fear? Is this what really is happening, or is this what I'm afraid is going to happen? Is this really what I should be focused on, or is this something that like my intuition is like all screwed up and creating some not so good energies just out of my own insecurities or whatever? So there could still be some illusions here, or there could be some fears here. Just again, this energy here, him coming out, I know can be a trigger for some people. Is like, that's all they care about, is just they're just going to come, they're going to get freaky deaky, they're going to bounce. That's going to keep happening if you keep expecting it to happen. If you keep thinking it's going to happen, if you keep feeling that that's all you're worthy of, then that's probably the dynamic you're going to set up and create with your situation. But if you know in your heart of hearts that you have boundaries and you have self-respect and you have, like this thing inside of you that's going to let you know, like, red flag, don't do that, then you don't have to worry about it, because you won't let it get to that point. You'll know right out the gate if this person's showing up to get the freaky deaky and bounce out, or if they're showing up to actually be honorable and, express their emotion. And if they ain't expressing their emotions, then like, okay, they ain't expressing any emotions, they're only expressing their desire, then I'm not going to go intertwine with that. And even if they do express their emotions, I'm going to make sure that that's not an illusion, that they're not doing that solely so that they can get to what they want physically, and it's just being aware, using your intuition, but also having faith, having faith and trusting that sometimes people change, or sometimes things change, that we're shaking up stuff, like people don't always end up doing exactly what we think they're going to do. But if we keep thinking the worst or expecting the worst, that's what we're going to attract, and we're going to keep bringing in those types of relationships or partnerships or experiences with people that show us that. So we need to shift what's going on inside of us, our focus, our energies, and what we're thinking is going to happen to us, or what somebody's going to say, or what they're going to do, and let them do and say what they're going to do on their own, without us projecting into them what we think they are or aren't going to do. And then, based off of what they say and what they do and how they show up, then we go forward from there. And we just use our discernment, and we use our ability with our healthy boundaries in place to not allow them to bulldoze us into something that's difficult. But it's basically, I feel like there is an emotional connection here for people. There's a lot of passion, a lot of desire. And unfortunately, when we have a lot of passion and desire and emotion connected to somebody, it's not the easiest way or the easiest experience for us to navigate through, because our heart gets us all discombobulated, or our emotions or our desire, our passion, wanting to rip each other's clothes off gets us all discombobulated. So we have to be able to balance those things out, honor what we want, and you know what, sometimes it's okay for that. Like if somebody is showing up and you just want to rip their clothes off and go get freaky deaky with them, then do it. But if you know that doing that is going to lead you to a heartache, or that if they're not there the next day, that's going to tear you up inside, then don't do it. Do what's best for you, based off of what's showing up to you, based off of who's coming in. But don't let yourself get wrapped up into these illusions or lies or fantasy versions of things. If you, just because you want them to be giving you emotion, don't see it if it's not there. Don't get wrapped up into the lies and illusions in that sense. And also don't get wrapped up into the lies and illusions that we can tell ourselves, or that they can tell us. Like if they're showing up and pretending to be a certain way, but they're not really being that certain way, we've got to have that discernment and ability to be like, all right, I'm not going to let my hormones guide me over to this person that makes me think, oh, maybe they're not going to do that, when really deep down I know they are going to do that. So basically, I feel some of you might want to be careful with this energy and just use your discernment. But a lot of you, I feel like what this is saying is that there is deep emotion here. And even if they do show up and only give you the passion, they're not able to express their emotion, doesn't mean that the emotion doesn't exist. It just means that they may not be ready to express it yet. Doesn't mean that they never will, or that it can't ever be a thing. But right now, in the moment, they may be suffering or struggling, and there may be this cyclical journey that you're going to have to go on with them until they're able to break out of the monotony and have that awakening and say, listen, I'm taking my life into my own hands, and I'm going to drop the burdens. I'm not going to keep doing what's not working here. I know that if I want things to improve with you, or I want things to happen in this relationship, or to get to my destined divinity, I need to express my emotions just as much as I express my desire. So take it as it resonates for you within your situation, and just use your discernment of what's best for you within that situation. Then down here, for what they're wanting, we have the Eight of Wands, which is taking action, communication, and traveling any distance has been created. We also have the Lovers here with the Three of Cups. So the Lovers is about making a decision. Now, for some of you, this could be making the decision to just come across the distance, whether it's emotional distance, physical distance, whatever type of distance there's been created within your situation. Could just be like, I got to make a decision. Am I going to cross the distance to go see this person, to get freaky deaky, and to, express my emotions, and to maybe start a life together, do whatever. But then on the flip side of that is maybe there's the third party. Maybe they have a life that they've already established with somebody. They have a contract that they've been creating with somebody. There's some burdens there that are like, what am I going to do? So they may have to make a decision about, am I going to take action and leave this situation that I have with this third person? So basically sometimes this can be third parties, but also it can be reconciling, celebrating, having a good time. So it's like, do I, look at your dynamic. Is your person married? Then it's probably them having to make a decision between you and another person. Is your person single and doesn't have that burden and that weird shit going on within your dynamic? Then they probably just need to make the decision. Are they going to cross the distance to come towards you to pursue their passion and their emotion and their desire to be connected to you? So take that as it resonates. But then down here we have again, for what they're wanting. Every moment has a purpose and beauty of its own, yet you are about to see light shine on the places that you have outgrown. So I feel like this is what they want. Like, they want to know, like, they want to get over and done with the shit that isn't working anymore. Like, they're ready for the endings. They're ready for their awakening. They're ready for their divinity. They're ready for the, like, next step. They're shaking it up. They're done with the same old, same old, same old, same old. It's like, I don't want to be staying where I don't fit anymore. It's like, I've been, I've had that experience, but maybe you've left this lasting impression on me that's starting to help me to see in a way that's differently, or starting to make me feel deeper than I've ever felt before, or desire deeper than I've ever desired before. So I don't want to be stuck anymore. I want to come out of there and go towards this new beginning, towards this new energy. And this is about our relations and our friends, our community, a renewal, seeing the unseen, a transformation, a revolution, change, progress, electricity, space, science fiction, radio frequency, occult. Okay, so it's like all of that weird, stuff that we can't put our finger on, but we know it's there. And again, it's very much similar to this. It's like our intuition, our psychic energies, and it's like the unseen. It's like that's basically what it is. It's just kind of like not being able to have it tangibly in your hand, but it's there, and you know it, and you feel it, and you sense it, and you know that you want to go towards it, and that there's something there that's going to help you to evolve and to grow and to get to your next version of yourself, or to come out of whatever season you've been in that's been keeping you kind of I'm just on the teetering edge of where I really am supposed to be. So with this, it's like you're about to come into a season of expansion. So like I was saying, it's like that season that you're in, it's time to come out of it. It's time to come into the next season. And this is what they're wanting. They want that season of expansion. They want that season where they can feel like that progress, where they're going to evolve, they're going to grow, they're going to have that revolution and that change that's going to help them to see through the bullshit and to see through I don't want to be here anymore. I've outgrown this. I don't want to be stuck anymore. I'm ready to go towards my new beginning. And with this is about the feminine again. It's sensual, consistent, Gaia, Pachamama, which is Pachamama is like the spirit of the earth. So stable and grounded, dependable, solid, strength, stubborn, power, structure, enduring, capable, long-lasting, nurturing, providing, a natural, authentic, blunt, unwavering, pragmatic, and sensible. So it's like, I want that grounded, stable love. I want that energy of commitment, and just knowing that I'm down for the haul, I'm going towards it, I got everything inside of me. I'm grounded, and I'm connected to the feminine, and I'm gonna get that sensual, passionate, loving energy that's undying and unwavering. It's just gonna endure and last and keep going. Maybe you've shown them that you have that lasting love for them, that you aren't going to go anywhere, that you're not going to ever deter away completely. There's something deep inside of you that's unconditional for this person. You are the feminine, they are the masculine. They desire to pursue you, to protect you, to provide, and you desire to nurture and receive and be receptive to them, and just encourage them, and heal and love and do all of those things that work together in harmony and balance. So I feel like for some of them, they're basically realizing that long-lasting impression that you've left on them is a realization that you actually do love them, that you actually do care about them, that you actually want the best for them, that there is some contract here, that there's something here that is destined and divine, and something that's going to help them to outgrow the old shit that's not serving anymore, that they don't have to keep themselves in a wall of protection, that they can let that wall down, and they can express those deep emotions, that they can have that deep passion and that deep love with you, and that it's not going to die, it's not going to end, it's not going to go anywhere, it's always going to be there. That electricity is always going to be there, that this expansion that the two of you can have together is going to explode and implode and keep creating. But sometimes that's nerve-wracking, or sometimes that's overwhelming, or maybe it just was in the past, they weren't ready for it. But your cyclical journey will bring you back together over and over and over until your time to be in that new cycle of creation, instead of destruction, can happen, and you go moving forward to your destiny. So hopefully that assisted you. I didn't think it was going to be this long of a reading, so I'm going to put this one onto my YouTube. But in Mene, namaste.